Go.
Okay, we are doing just the timeline cards for week 23, which is actually the last week of timeline. Next week when Miss Carrie does it, she gets to do something different. So our last 7 timeline cards, it starts with the age of information and globalization. Can you all say that with me? Age of information and globalization. Circa 1970 to the present. Let's say it again. Age of information and globalization. Circa 1970 to the present. So for this motion, we're doing age of information. Pretend you're typing on a computer.
Mom, I'm not really good at any motion.
Pretend that you're typing on a computer. I think you can do that. And then age of information and globalization. Pretend you're doing the globe.
It's a globe.
You try it with us? Age of information and globalization. Circa 1970 to the present.
Mommy,
All right, now
I
what's
know
your
how
first
to
card?
move my hands.
I know. Shh, no way. Okay. Next one says Watergate. You want to hold it?
Yeah.
Watergate and President Nixon resigns. For this motion, you take Caleb, John. I need you to stand over here while we do this, okay? Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. Okay, so you take your left hand like this, like it's a gate.
Wait, no, this hand.
Yep, and then you take your 2 fingers like they're your eyes, and you're peeking around because it had to do with spying. Okay, Watergate. And then when it says President Nixon resigns, the sign for resigning is to take 2 fingers and put them inside your other hand, and then you pull them out. That means resign.
What is resign? Maybe
He was the president. He resigned as president. He stepped down
Quit.
from being president. Quit. Resign.
Why?
Because of Watergate. We'll talk about that after this. Okay, so can everyone say that and do the motion with me? Watergate, President Nixon resigns. What's the next one, Noah?
Fall of communism in Eastern Europe.
Let's all say that. Fall of communism in Eastern Europe. When we do creation and the...
Fall.
So you already know fall, right? So fall of communism in Eastern Europe. This is the motion for Europe is a letter E, which we did last week where your fingers are eating your thumb. An E, and it's by your forehead, and it kind of does a couple circles. That's the sign for Europe. So let's do that again. So fall of communism in Eastern Europe. Okay, Levi, you have the next one. Can you hold that card up? It says European Union formed. Everyone say that. European Union formed. Good. For this, we do the Europe sign. European Union. That means united or union. And it's your thumb and your middle fingers. It's like a chain. European Union formed. The next one, Levi, can you grab it? It's behind you. Hey, we don't need to speak like that. Okay, this one says apartheid abolished in South Africa. Apartheid is actually means apart. It means like they were. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the history, but they means apart. So the motion for apart is this. So take your fists, like letter A's. So Caleb's stranded on the couch. Okay, it's okay. Just pay attention to this. So take your fists and put them together and your thumbs together. So that means together. So what would mean apart? Apartheid. Okay, say it again. Apartheid abolished in South Africa. Do you remember when we did destroyed? That's the same motion where it's like you're crumpling something and you're uncrossing and like throwing it down.
I remember that motion.
Yeah, so that's the motion for abolished means.
Now put it back, Levi.
So no, we're gonna do it again, Liddy. So everyone do it with me. Apartheid abolished in South Africa. Okay, next one, Lydia. Hers says September 11th, 2001. And so for this motion, we do it like this. We do, it's just a motion, it's not an actual sign. September 11th, 2001.
Because 2
Yes, let's let their mommies and daddies tell them about it, but you're right, you got it. So for this, everyone do it with me, okay? September 11th, 2001. Great. And then the very last card, Lydia.
Oh, yep. It says...
Pull it in front of says the rising tide of freedom.
How'd you know that?
Because I know the song. So the motion for freedom, you guys, is like you have chains that you're breaking out of, right? So this is the sign for freedom. So we do it twice. We do the rising tide of freedom, rising tide of freedom.
Can we sing it all?
Timeline. Yes, let's sing it all, okay? We're gonna start with, that's the whole timeline. We're gonna start with this one. Age of, keep your skirt down, Missy. Okay.
Hold it down.
Age of information and globalization. Circa 1970 to the present. Watergate, President Nixon resigns. Fall of communism in Eastern Europe. European Union formed. Apartheid abolished in South Africa. Then I think it does 2000 AD, September 11th, 2001. Rising tide of freedom, rising tide of freedom.
Timeline.
There you go, we did it. So that's week 23's timeline.